Hi,
Oh,
Kat.
hi.
Well, thank you so much for spending your Sunday evening chatting with me. I really appreciate
My
it.
pleasure.
Welcome, everyone. This is now our seventh Chats of Everybody. It's been amazing to have these chats each week with people in the Pilates industry and hear their thoughts and feelings on our recent campaign and just to hear about their lives and their Pilates journey. And for anybody who hasn't seen our recent campaign or heard our live chats, a little bit of knowledge about that. We did a campaign that was called Everybody is a Pilates Body, and we wanted to focus on the term Pilates body, which is a term that we've heard a lot in the recent years, which has started to focus on a certain aesthetic. This has made a lot of people feel kind of like they're not included, they're not involved, a little bit marginalized, like they need to look a certain way to be able to do Pilates. And we wanted to really flip that around and show how Pilates is for everybody, no matter how what you look like, you know, your gender, your race, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we did a campaign, and if you don't know me, my name is Poppy. I'm a Pilates instructor at Nobu, and I'm on the leadership team at Nobu as well. And yeah, really excited to chat with Pat this week. This one feels like extra special because Pat was actually part of our campaign. So yeah, let's dive straight in, Pat. And can you just tell us about yourself, how you found Pilates, your Pilates journey? Yeah.
Okay. Where do I begin? I've been teaching for a very long time. About 25 years I've been teaching. But how I
Wow.
came to Pilates was 25 years ago, or just a bit longer than that.
Hmm.
Pilates came to one of the leading clubs in Milton Keynes.
Right.
And the teacher was a Canadian teacher that came
Hmm.
over and brought Pilates to this club. And I went to the class and I thought, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
And then discovered I've been doing it for quite a long time because I have
Yeah.
scoliosis, and it was part of my rehab as
Yeah.
to making sure my back was as functional as it can be.
Mhm.
And then I decided that I'd really like to train to be a teacher.
Amazing.
So back in the day, I did a training with Michael King, and that was mat based.
Yeah.
And then a few years down the line, I did full equipment training with Pilates International with
Amazing.
Martin Sampson. He's no longer with us, sadly, and
Mhm.
Heather and Alvin Quirk.
Amazing.
And and I've never looked back. I've
Yeah.
never looked back. And
25
and
years.
I found that even though in those days
Mm.
everybody was family,
Hmm.
everybody helped each other, didn't
Yeah.
matter where you were
Yeah.
from, where you
Yeah.
started,
Yeah.
and that was really quite nice.
Oh
So
my
it's
gosh.
interesting now that the conversation is sort of the fact that perhaps it's not
Mm.
as inclusive as it should be. So
Yeah.
I know we're going to chat about that later on. But for me, my journey was
Absolutely.
I started by pure chance
Hmm.
and fell in love with it. It's
Yeah.
helped me, and
Yeah.
I've enjoyed helping other people.
Amazing. So 25 years. Oh my gosh. So you have your own studio now,
I
right?
do. I have my own studio,
Yeah. So
and
how long into teaching did you open your own studio straight away, or was that kind of down the line?
it was down the line because what I did was I freelanced an awful
Hmm.
lot,
Yeah.
and I taught other
Yeah.
disciplines. And so, having taught other disciplines, I decided that I'd like to be based in one place.
Yeah.
And having been based in one place, it's predominantly
Hmm.
Pilates that we taught.
Hmm.
And we taught beginners
Yeah.
right through to those who need rehab care and so on.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So did you see, I mean, you must have seen so many different body types come through the
Oh,
door in that time.
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
this planet is full of everybody,
Yeah,
everybody's
exactly.
type.
It's
Yes.
amazing to hear from you with that much experience and knowledge. And have you seen the difference in like recent years, kind of with maybe people feeling like a little bit more nervous to try Pilates or not? Or has it always been kind
Right.
of very
I
inclusive?
think that when you're trying something new,
Hmm.
I think there is always going to be an element of doubt,
Yeah,
nervousness, and uncertainty, and coupled with the fact that still a lot of people don't know what Pilates is,
yeah,
which is
absolutely.
surprising.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, however, I have seen a change
Mm.
in terms of with the medical
Yeah,
profession, they
yeah.
are encouraging people to do exercises,
Mm.
and not that they should they recommending Pilates, but
Mhm.
the Pilates is being used as a help, an aid to helping people to move well, pre and
Absolutely.
post operative,
Yeah.
and either side of that or
Yeah.
in between that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think that the conversation is changing, but
Mhm.
slowly, as
Mhm.
to why people are
Yeah.
coming, which means that if they want to move well, they will
Yeah.
try something.
People are
And I think that
willing.
something is
And
Pilates.
especially when a doctor or some medical professional is telling them that, they were like, they're like, okay, I will do what they
Yes,
say. You know, they know best.
exactly.
And yeah, I do see a lot of people come through the door, and they might say the doctor or their physio said you need to try Pilates. So that is really interesting, isn't it? Talk about the campaign. Thinking back to that day, that was such a special day.
It was.
It was so inspiring, wasn't it? Everyone was just like, the energy on set was incredible. Everyone was so supportive of each other. I just loved it. I hope you did as
It
well.
was a wonderful, wonderful day. I got to
Yeah.
speak to most, nearly, I think I got to speak to everybody really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was really nice to see the vibrancy in the
Mhm.
space.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we were all different ages,
Yeah.
all different shapes and sizes, all had a
Yeah.
story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Very
was
much like our
brilliant.
client base, all have a
Yeah.
story to tell, and we enjoyed
And
telling it.
connecting to our campaign and the term Pilates body, what are your thoughts surrounding that term? Have you experienced it much in your studio?
I think we do live in a world whereby we are presented with
Hmm.
images, and it is slowly
Yeah.
changing, but people come with a perception that the image that they see,
Yeah.
that they're going to see in the space that you provide,
Yeah.
um, how do they fit in with that image?
Yeah.
So
They feel like they need to.
and it's very, very difficult. And I think it's very difficult for the person that's coming into a new space
Hmm.
and to feel comfortable. And I think it's up to us as a Pilates instructor
Yeah.
to help navigate the road for them to be
Hmm.
able to feel comfortable and at ease.
Absolutely.
Um, so therefore, it's not just about the Pilates
Yeah.
body, per se. It's
Hmm.
about, like the campaign is all about, it is about everybody
Yeah.
can do Pilates. Give it a
Absolutely.
go.
Because it's daunting, right? It is, you
Mm.
know. Some people, it's very nerve-wracking going into a room with strangers, and they might feel conscious. So, like, we really have to make an effort to, yeah, make them feel comfortable. From an expert perspective, what are your personal reasons for training in Pilates?
Me
Yeah.
to train Pilates.
Yes.
Um, well, the reason why I initially trained, when I used to live in London, I'm an ex-Londoner,
Mm-hmm.
after having 4 children, I gained a little bit of weight, just
Yeah.
a little
Right.
bit. And I decided to go to a fitness class.
Right.
And I felt, when I left the class, I felt so deflated because
Mm.
I did. And,
Yeah.
and, and there were many reasons why I felt deflated. And when I came to terms with why I was feeling deflated, I thought to myself that I would do something about it. And that's why I went into the fitness industry, which
Yeah.
then led on to
Oh,
Pilates.
that's
But
amazing.
the learning that I got from that experience, I think all experience, when you look back, you can put it to good use.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, whoever comes into whatever space that I have,
Yeah.
I will always make them feel like they belong here because
Yeah.
they've taken the effort and the courage to come into that space,
Yeah.
the unknown, and I
Yeah.
want them to feel special. And so, and
Absolutely.
I think that's the beginning of a healthy relationship,
Mm-hmm.
to get them to understand, right, this is the space, you're here, I'm here, let's work some magic.
That's amazing. You kind of turn like your negative experience into yeah, a positive experience for other people.
That's why.
Scoliosis as well, obviously. Did you feel changes in your body when you started practicing Pilates?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I understood what I could and could not do.
Yeah.
There is the thinking mind that it tells you what you can and cannot do, but there's also the physical body that says, actually, no, you can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Should
So you
not
have to
do
find
that.
another way of doing what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So scoliosis and Pilates, and
Hmm.
understanding the mechanics of the body and understanding what Pilates can do for
Yeah.
the body, it has enabled me to be much stronger, mobile,
Yes.
flexible,
Yeah.
agile, and it also makes me understand as to when I have a little blip, like a little ache,
Yeah. Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
think to myself, I know what I need to do. And
Yes.
that's, as Pilates teachers, knowing this for myself, then I pass that on to other people. Say, you might want to consider A,
Yeah.
B, and C.
Doing this.
You
It
know,
doesn't
so
have
you
to be
won't
the
go until
same
you
set
try.
way.
I have people from as young as 12 to as mature as 88.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's amazing, Pat.
And I have people, and this is with scoliosis,
Yeah.
amputees,
Yeah.
dancers, sports specific, office workers,
Yeah.
mums to be.
Oh, that's
Um,
incredible,
so
Pat.
it's a
I
broad
think,
spectrum.
what message would you want to send out to somebody that is feeling maybe a little bit nervous, too scared to try Pilates?
You know, I think Pilates is meant to meet people from where they are. So let us start at the beginning. And although the beginning is different with every person and your progress will be different from the next person, let's take it step by step, breath by breath. Let's see what your body can do. Let's see what your mind wants to do. And let's try to get back to the foundation of your blueprints of how you want to move.
So we got some questions that were sent in as well.
Okay.
Who do you admire in the Pilates space?
It's not so much who I admire,
Yeah.
but it's from whom I gain my inspiration
Yeah.
from. And I'm inspired by other Pilates teachers,
Yeah.
particularly the three that I've mentioned, Martin and Heather and Alvin, and a very dear friend of mine, Carol, and other Pilates teachers that I've known across the way. And even a first generation Pilates teacher who I had the good fortune of meeting in True
Oh,
Pilates
wow.
in America. Also new teachers. There's something about new teachers. They have so much va-va-voom that they're so excited.
Willing
You know, and it
to
sort of,
learn.
it relights your fire. And then
Yeah.
also equally as important as the teachers, the clients. So I'm inspired by my clients because without them, I couldn't do what I do. And I'm always amazed at what they can do and
Yeah.
what they overcome. So yeah,
That's so
I'm
funny.
inspired by that.
I also wrote a little note and I put my colleagues and my students
They
literally exactly the same as you. Like that really is where you get the inspiration from. So what do you think needs to change to see more representation in the Pilates industry?
um, I think it is changing.
Yeah.
And in some areas it's changing quicker than other areas, you know, like some locations,
Yeah.
in some countries quicker than others, but I think if we can continue to make a conscious effort or step towards making the Pilates space or environment more inviting, more accessible, more inclusive to everybody, then we won't be having this conversation about what the conversation has been about, like, you know, race, type, and etc., etc. If we just focus on the person, because we're all one thing, and then just make everyone enjoy what you have to offer, and they will benefit from it, and so will we as Pilates teachers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's not easy. I know it's not easy to change people's
I agree,
perception
though. I
and mind.
think it's changing in certain places more than others. It's kind of slowly
Yeah.
changing. Do you have a specific client journey where you have really seen some benefits in their body and the changes in their body?
Well, like I said before, everyone's
Mm.
unique, and but I think from the first moment that they come into the studio, because they start with a consultation, then
Yeah.
they go into a class or they have a one-to-one, and from the first moment you can see the change in them, because if they were in doubt, by the time they leave, they think,
Yeah.
they have an moment. That's all you need to know. They have an
Yes. You see the little light bulb
yeah,
moment.
exactly. And then they come back.
Yeah.
And so by the mere fact they come back each week, you know that they are progressing in their mindset, progressing in what they can do in a class, progressing when they're outside the class. They can say, actually, I can do much more than I did before. You know, like I have my 85-year-old lady who when she travels, still travels, and she's carrying her suitcases, and she goes, I could not do that before. And so she's jolly pleased with herself.
Amazing. It's the day-to-day activities that also
So
you notice the difference in the
important.
bodies, right?
Yes.
And I think it also, you obviously see the changes in the body, but it is like the mindset as well, and the connection that they are feeling, and when they're vocal about it, it really makes it all kind of worth it. And when you see them light bulb moments, it's amazing, isn't
Yes.
it? That is all my questions, Pat.
Oh, well, it's been
Thank
lovely talking to
you
you.
so
My
much. That
pleasure.
was a great chat.
But
Do you want
if
to
you
be
know, if you've got all, you've got your limbs, and if you can breathe, you can move. We've
exactly?
just got to find a
Yeah.
way that suits you.
Yeah. Yes, amazing. Oh my God, what an amazing way to end with that quote. Thank you so much, Pat. Your first live, and that was brilliant. If you haven't seen our campaign, guys, have a look on Nobu Pilates Instagram, and you can see it there. And have a look at Pat's amazing photos. She looks incredible in our campaign. Have a lovely Sunday evening.
And
Thanks for
you
joining
too.
me.
Take
Lovely to
care,
see you.
Poppy.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Bye.